Jukepod. 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 Yeah.
Okay, today with us at Juke, we have the gloriously spectacular and incredibly talented Maria Boidin.
Everything is true.
All right, so you come from France.
I do, yeah.
You're a master at guitar
Yeah, virtuoso, someone said.
and a musical genius.
Yeah. There's like Satriani than me in the history of modern guitar playing.
So, what are you up to?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the summer break. If we're talking about music here, I'm working on music for next school year because I'm
Yeah.
a student. Yeah, I don't know how general the question was supposed to be.
Well, that was all right.
Okay.
Yeah, just like generally, what's going on?
Yeah, as I say, it's the summer. I'm glowing up, looking cute, and glowing up, becoming good at music. So, everything is nice.
You quite recently you had your first single release with
Yeah.
the band Maria and the Saints. Do you have anything more coming out?
Definitely have stuff recorded. There's like 2 more singles coming, and then an EP that's going to be the 3 singles plus another one.
Oh, cool. So there's a surprise one.
Yeah, I don't know how much it's surprise, but
Okay.
it's something that we played on stage. But like,
Right.
it's all recorded, and it's just a matter of how fast I can mix, which means it will come out in 9 years.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to build up the anticipation by really like starving the fans.
So, like this first single, did you get everything you need? How did it come about? And could you tell us a bit about the process of recording it and who's involved in it? And
Yeah, sure. Last summer, so before this one, summer 22, I was writing, I had this like Maria and the Saints project in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna write a kind of concept album about it. And so I wrote all these like self-serving songs. The first thing I wrote was like my 10-minute kind of rock opera kind of thing. And then I had all my songs and I was like, I need to have one like radio friendly, like of course I did not mean to be on the radio, but I was like, I need a pop one with like a chorus that people can sing.
Yeah.
And if you listen to Did You Get Everything You Need by Maria and the Saints on Spotify, the chorus, it has this part that goes, whoa.
Yeah.
And I specifically like designed it for the specific purpose
that
of being
makes
the
so
one that
much
stays
sense.
with people.
Oh, yeah. Like every Offspring song, they have this chorus that goes, whoa.
Okay, actually, if you want exact inspiration, I love a punk rock band from Canada that's called Pup.
Okay.
And they have a lot of these it's gang vocals of like these old woes, and I always like that, and I like that band. So that was
Nice.
what I was trying to emulate. It ends up sounding pretty different, but that's the vibe. So yeah, it was basically a song that I wrote for the specific purpose of being, listener friendly. I mean, I still like it, but yeah, it was made with that intent.
Yeah.
And then turns out we played a few shows, and it's the one that people like actually talked to me after. So I was like, I'm a mastermind actually.
Yeah. It's great to have one of those. It's like kind of the hook of the album instead of like the hook in the song or something, or of the live performance. But I also thought the song sounded very genuine for being like made with the intention of being poppy. So you must kind of like that style as well.
Yeah, of course. I have absolutely zero like moral judgment on is more pop songs worse or better. I just know you kind of need them, as balance in your art to have like kind of a bit of everything. So, and there's this chorus, and I also like the emotion of having a chorus that everyone can sing is also a genuine artistic expression. So
Is there a meaning behind the band name?
Yeah, there is. Okay, to be fair, as most band names go, you just like talk about it one time during rehearsal and you're like, why not this one? And then you don't have any other ideas that goes with this one, but it still has meaning. I guess Maria is my name. And as much as I try to not be egotistical, I did like write all the music and arranged it for this project. So it didn't feel too out of place to have my name in the band name.
Yeah.
And I guess I like to, in a lot of the artistic direction I put around my music, I like all the religious undertones.
Yeah.
Because, slight context, I come from a very Catholic family.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a trans woman, but I still was given the name Maria as a child, as like a bonus name. So it's kind of like an ironic, funny thing also to me to like take this like Catholic heritage, which I obviously kind of subvert. So, that's the vibe.
Like, this is a great place for me to ask one of my other questions. How and where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in the north of France, was born in a town called Falampin. It's smaller than Yepes.
What was it called?
Falampin, yeah. There's no way to make it not sound horribly French. Yeah, it has 4,000 inhabitants. It was not bad, but it was definitely extremely boring. Statistically, when you're in a bigger city, you will meet people who have the same interest as you. But when you're a small city, if you're unlucky, you just end up like not having friends. And it's not even through bullying or anything. It's you just don't meet anyone you vibe with. So yeah, that was that. And then, as I say, pretty Catholic upbringing. So going to the church and all that, which again wasn't awful, but I just didn't really care. It was just very boring.
How did music enter your life?
Well, it went in different steps, I guess. My dad, I guess everyone has this story about their dad listening to some dad rock. So I went through my teenage years influenced by that, thinking that no good music was made after the 70s. And the kids at school didn't listen enough to Led Zeppelin, so they were like had shit taste.
Yeah, that's me as well.
So that's the growing up. And then, my brother showed me some chords on the guitar one afternoon. I guess, he was trying to get girls and knew how to play guitar. So I learned some basic as popular songs. And then I just like randomly played music without taking it very seriously. And it's only when I got older that I started to, meet friends that were like kind of in cool underground bands. And that world kind of was attractive because I was like, oh, these cool people are doing this. I want to do this too. And of course, I guess when I was like around 20, I really started to get into it.
Okay. So is that also when you started writing songs?
Yeah, I wrote some songs. I was in a band in France. Oh, shout out to them if they listen to me. It's called Forecast. We never released anything. I'm not even sure if we played a show, but we did a lot of practice that went nowhere. And there was like one guy that was really good at writing songs actually, but we weren't very productive. So it was just, we needed to write some stuff. So I just was like, why not try? And then I got into it. I would say at first, like I'm a trained graphic designer and that's what I do to pay the rent on the side.
Okay.
And so at first I thought of myself in terms of like art making as like a visual artist.
Yeah.
And I made a conscious decision, I would say like 4 years ago maybe, to shift who I am from doing visual stuff to doing music.
Oh.
So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to write songs and they're going to be good and I'm going to produce them. So yeah, that was also a conscious decision.
I don't think the one has to exclude the other. Like there's lots of people that come from a visual background that starts doing music and does a lot of cool stuff with it. Like one of the guitarists from Tool, he was like doing movies and stuff and special effects. And then when they started the band, he also was the guy who did all the special effects and stuff for their music videos. Have you been thinking about like recording videos and stuff and doing the art for that?
Yeah, when I said I shifted, like I don't dislike or don't want to do anything visual anymore. It's just, you make the choice of what is your focus. And maybe my visual stuff is going to support the music, but I want my focus to be the music still and maybe the visual stuff. Like when we did
you did the comic.
Show.
That was cool.
In December, I was like, going to add a little something to make it more fun to go to the show.
And it was really nice.
It was really nice, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote this comic that kind of follows the songs.
It's kind of like when a friend visits, but he also brings a gift or something.
So that's fun.
Nice to get like a visual thing that goes hand in hand with the music.
Yeah.
I think because it just strengthens the story. Because your music is quite like focused on telling stuff.
Yeah, as I said, I'm super influenced by concept album. You don't even always know what's the like limit of what is that. But The Who's Quadrophenia is like fucking, as I said, my dad listening to dad rock. But The Who's Quadrophenia is like, I love that thing and I love it also because there's the movie that goes with it. And there's the story so I love that. I think my biggest influence is actually Green Day's American Idiot. I know that some people, sometimes know, there's like different like people that think it's a fucking masterpiece and people that think that, it's a bit like over bloated and like doing too much, but I don't care. I think it's a masterpiece and...
I don't think it's bad. It's like, it's got very much nuance to what people regularly maybe expect from Green Day. Like, I think people expect 3-chord songs that are over in a minute. Then you get complex tracks like Jesus of Suburbia and stuff, which is like a musical song.
Like, that's what I want to achieve with my life. I want to make Jesus of Suburbia too.
Yeah, it really, when I heard it the first time when I was a kid, it really moved me, like how much a track can contain and still be cohesive.
You know, I always say my music taste regarding rock music is when the singer is so sad that they can't sing well. And like that's what like touches me, and that's what I love. And when I watch like lives, when it sounds like they're gonna start crying on the stage, that's my favorite thing. I guess that I have this like model for what I want, especially like front woman or man to be like. I want to feel the emotion more than anything else. So yeah, that's I guess what I'm trying to replicate.
For me, as a fan of music and yours, I think there's like artists who are more focused on hitting the right notes in the right timing and stuff, and then there's like another thing as well where they can hit the right emotions on the right times and stuff, and like transform from one emotion to the other in the middle of a phrase or whatever, or it's kind of cool stuff like that. I think you're really good at that.
Yeah, I have the same vision as you, and again. Yeah, you know, on the albums you can hit the right notes. That's okay on a recording. Yeah. But live, you should... again, Pup, listen to Pup if you want to understand what I'm trying to do. Yeah. He sounds fucking horrible live. Like, it's flat all the time. If it's even notes you can recognize. And I also love, like, I don't know if you know La Dispute.
No.
Also, like, it's almost, it depends. They've done, like, different albums. Some are, like, very post-hardcore. Some are, like, screamo. Some are almost, like, spoken words. But, yeah, it's, like, really detaching the singing from the idea of singing notes, I guess.
Yeah. You told me when we were hanging out the other day that you're starting out a new project under a new moniker.
Yeah.
Holy Maria.
That's right.
It's going to be hyperpop.
Yeah, it's kind of going to be hyperpop.
Yeah, could you define hyperpop for the ones who aren't initiated?
No, I cannot, because, yeah.
Where do you start? You showed me some hyperpop, and it was like very, very varied kind of music.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Some of it sounded like trap, some of it sounded like noise, some of it sounded like pop, and a lot of EDM influence as well.
Okay, I'm going to do like a short history of hyperpop, I'm sorry. But yeah, basically it's a term that a lot of people in the scene don't like anymore. Because basically it was like what is been defined as hyperpop, like emerged from like the SoundCloud. Some people say DG-core. To mean like music that was mainly from online communities and from specifically SoundCloud. Like SoundCloud is the place where it started.
Okay.
And the word hyperpop, I'm not exactly sure, but at least what made it popular is that Spotify decided that it was a genre.
Okay.
And made a playlist called Hyperpop. And then for all these artists to make money, the way of, like in their niche to make money was to end up on that playlist. So in the like audience's eye, I guess the word hyperpop defines this, but in the artist's eye, it's like kind of a corporate way of their music being able to be noticed. Like different people have different opinions on that, and that of course plays into the fact that it's so varied.
Yes.
Because it was never, I guess, built up as a genre, and it's more a scene than a set of musical rules.
What is? Do you have any? What are your future plans musically? Do you have any like scheme to take over the world?
I mean, obviously, become rich and famous would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't actually care about the famous part that much. If I could just be rich, that would be completely fine. But famous is more like a vessel to become rich. You know?
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
What do you want to get out of being rich?
Well, I don't want to be rich. I want to be financially secure. That would be more the correct word.
Okay, nice. That's a place I want to get to as well.
You don't want a private yacht or something cool like that?
Nah, I don't think so. I actually don't think about the money part of it because it's like, you know, painfully aware that that's maybe not something that makes sense to wish for like in the coming future.
Yeah,
but so I'm more like trying to do as good music as I can and to put it out.
But I find that usually the artists that I like more are the ones that have kind of, at least as a dream, you know, that they would like to become, you know, they have this drive. It's an expression of that drive to like want to put it something out there and wanting people to hear it and stuff.
Yeah.
It's usually worth hearing as well if they have that.
Yeah, but I guess it's also good to have a drive to make money, because that also means you're going to have more time to make music so that people can hear it. Well,
It's cool.
let's just hope I get money at some point.
I've heard that you come up with ideas all the time, like you just have new stuff all the time. Ideas, is that, do you have a creative hot streak going on right now, or is that more like the process as usual?
I don't know, man. The creative process, I don't know. I really enjoy the process of making music.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, I'm really excited. I guess since I listen to, as I say, very emotional music, as humans, we have emotions, so it's pretty easy to tap into that. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just an emotional person. So it can be this toxic thing of something horrible happens to you and you're like, oh, well, at least I'm going to get a song out of it.
Yeah.
I have this mentality going for or sometimes you're just having a nice time with your friend and you could enjoy the moment, but you could also think how could I turn that feeling into a song?
Oh.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense. If you have a lot of emotion as a person, you might have a lot of ideas for songs as well. That's probably how
and
it goes.
Also the trance stuff, it really feeds you a lot of good themes. A lot of music is about, self-growth, and trance feels so good into that.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get inspiration from and strong images from the trance experience. So
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us a bit about how you came to realize that you are a woman and stuff? Have you known all your life?
Well, so there's this band called Against Me. The singer is Laura Jane Grace.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's specifically her. I guess I had... Yeah, no, it's actually probably specifically her.
Okay.
Yeah. Where I come from, no one even knows that the concept. It's not even that transphobic. They just don't know it exists. I know you were going to ask me how I ended up here, so this is a good segue.
Right.
Okay.
I'm writing this podcast for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the year is 2015. I come to Finland for an exchange, and the only people who are not the classic Finnish, let's not talk to you for the first 3 months, are the queer kids in class. And so I become friends with them, even though I've met 1.5 LGBT person in my life before. And I think they're cool. And one of them shows me Against Me. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I don't instantly click that it's a trans woman or anything. But yeah, I guess I just get immersed in the fact, whoa, these people that are really nice. And I learn about it. And then I ask myself questions. And yeah, it's it just starts from that.
Yeah,
Right.
cool.
You said a bit about your inspiration, that it seems like you have so much fun doing it that you don't have a hard time practicing or stuff like that because it's fun and stuff like
Okay,
that. So
practicing.
okay, that's not fun.
Who wants to practice?
Yeah, who wants to practice? Yeah. It doesn't matter. I said it's okay to sound bad on stage, so I don't need to practice. Okay, I'm joking.
That's why I make electronic music, because then only my synths have to practice.
Yeah, you just have to practice pressing spacebar on your keyboard.
Yes, exactly. That's all I do. I press spacebar and the music makes itself. I have this cool question right here. How many NPS, notes per second, can you tap on your guitar neck? Or do you simply just halt yourself before the friction causes the damn thing to burst out in flames, effectively causing the majority of your audience to get third-degree burns all over their bodies?
Funnily enough, I actually calculated that for you.
Really? Okay.
That's awesome.
No, well, yeah. Well, yeah, anyway.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I don't have the number in my head.
Oh, fuck.
And it's not specifically me. Tapping is just such it looks flashy, but it's just a cool way to not have to do a lot of effort and play a lot of notes. So just for fun, I was how many notes can I without too much effort put in a minute?
Right.
It's a lot. Actually, it's kind of crazy how many notes you can put in there.
Cool, man. I also love tapping. It saves you from a lot of unnecessary practice.
Yeah, and it's maybe my guitar teacher is gonna notice it's not that impressive skill, but my friends who don't know too much about guitar, they come to a show and they're like, oh my god, Maria is so good at guitar, and I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. So low effort, high result. What else can you want in life?
Yes.
Yeah, how do you usually start a new song? Do you usually write the lyrics first, or does it come from a melody, or do you write some chords, or do you even have a usual way of starting stuff?
Back in the day, well, a full 1 year ago, I usually would start with lyrics.
Yeah.
Because also there's this French kind of culture of like the writing, you know, oh, you're
course.
making literature. So I guess I still had that in my body. I was like, oh, I have to make a really good text, and then like
It has to have meaning.
Yeah. And the emotion and the music will like flow outside of the good words and stuff. I don't really believe that anymore. Like, I'm not saying it's a wrong way to think of it, but I definitely can see that the songs that get out of this are a bit less musical. And it's like, you know, if I want to write good stuff, maybe I don't have to make music about it. I usually, I do like, you know, from the rap industry, I make the instrumental and then I like top line it, fake word, and then I start putting the words in.
The fake words thing, is that for the phonetics of it, or does some words come out? Is it like a free association thing, you know? Or
yeah, it's a bit of both, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you do it phonetically, and then because you heard so many English-speaking songs in your life, some of the words kind of like roll off.
Yeah, that can be a bit like reference things for you then to write.
I had to stop myself because like one cliche in songwriting is to say tonight at the end of the chorus.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And the last song I wrote, actually, I was like, oh shit, tonight. Like, you know, when I was like doing the top line, I was like, it's kind of, what word can I put there? And like the only one that worked was tonight. I was like, shit. I ended up saying breaking your heart instead, which is like,
oh, wow.
You know,
That's
still
even
cliche,
worse.
but slightly better. I don't know the exact theory. There's a YouTube video about it. Why does every song end with tonight by this guy who plays piano? And he explains like the reason why tonight is in all these songs, because just the word, the way it's made, it. Yeah.
It is a nice sound to have at the end. And also, I think it's a nice picture to have at the end, of course. It's such a archetypical good night, you know, now it's over, let's go.
What is your spirit instrument?
My spirit instrument?
Yeah, it could be anything, like the kazoo or a banjo or a didgeridoo.
Wow, you threw me a real curveball here. The oscillator.
Oh, which waveform?
Just good old sine wave.
Okay.
Just a pure like telephone tone.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's a very, very nice tone.
It is.
It's like a whistling.
Have you seen the video of Wendy Carlos showing how to synthesize everything from like...
Yeah, I think like it's an old video from the 70s or something,
It's
like,
hilarious when you see promo videos of Wendy Carlos, because she wasn't out like from the beginning, so at some point you can see she's already transitioning, but she still has to like perform as a man, so she has these like fake like, how do you call that, sideburns that she sticks on to look more manly for the show.
Shit,
and like they don't look very real, and it's like fucking hilarious.
That's really funny.
What are your plans for the future, like after this summer? Where do you see yourself in 5 months?
Eating potatoes in campus, probably.
Nice.
You know, I don't think I'm gonna try to get gigs with Maria and the Saints. I don't think I'm gonna try to write much more music if I mix the one we already have. And, you know, I'd rather try to play around, because we just played in Jukepodd, basically.
Yeah.
So just gonna maybe play, you know, in Vasa, like go crazy a little bit. Maybe, you know, last move. But...
No, they're going too far.
Well, that would be funny. Live at Last Move. It's like Woodstock 99, but for Maria and the Saints.
That would be great.
Yeah, and I guess I will try to get gigs with Maria and the Saints. And probably in terms of like music making, we'll work on the more electronic hyperpop stuff.
Yeah.
And try to make music videos also, because, you know, we live in a world where people want to have music videos. So I can have exclusive info that we have one song ready with my friend.
All right.
I'm not sure she decided on her stage name yet, so I'm not going to say it, but we're going to make together this video where dresses and eaters and dance is going to be good. And that's what's up.
Yeah. Well, that was really nice having you to talk here and stuff.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This has been nice.
Thanks. Now, coming to you from Pietarsaari Jeppis, stick tuned for more great things.
Juke Pod. Juke Pod.